I'm going to show you guys the breakdown of what viral organic marketing means, so you guys can see how simple this stuff is and how crazy it works. You guys ready for this? Viral organic marketing. All right, this is the only right way to do organic marketing. So there is only 4 steps to this whole process. Really simple to understand. First, you need an audience. Now what's crazy is we have first started doing this with Facebook groups. Just finding Facebook groups and putting viral posts in them. And we're like, okay, that works in Facebook groups. That's cool. But then we started doing it with Instagram, and it worked with Instagram too. And then we started doing it with like TikTok, and we give our clients some more clients using on LinkedIn. And guys, lo and behold, viral organic, because it follows timeless, real principles of human nature and what virality is, people would engage and it worked. So as long as you have an audience, even an email audience, we just helped Eric and Brian. They got like 500 plus leads doing one of our organic strategies, going viral inside of an email they sent out to the list. So all you need is an audience first. Once you have an audience, then you deploy a viral post. You put out viral content. All right, we're gonna go more into what that is afterwards. Once you do that, what will happen is the audience will see the viral content and they're going to flood you with traffic. So what happens is you're gonna get something called inbound traffic. Now, inbound traffic is the key. Most people go and get traffic, like cold traffic. That's why ads are really hard, because you got to tell people to want to buy from you or want to talk to you. But with viral posts, people message you because they're inspired by you. And so you get inbound traffic, lots of people DMing you, checking out your profile, all that stuff, going to your Facebook group. You get people coming to you. And once they're coming to you, you start booking calls like crazy, okay? This is literally how you pack your calendars, flood your DMs, and start booking sales calls and closing high-ticket clients. This is the most proven, simplest framework, I think, in the entire industry. It's the #1 organic marketing system in the industry, and taught the way we teach. Like, no one does this, guys. So you need an audience. You need to go viral. You get inbound traffic. Focus on this. This is the biggest thing. The real big key is, how do we get people to want to message us? Because then ghosting goes down, right? Response rate goes up. Close rate goes up because people that want to actually talk to you get on calls that want to buy from you. Like, it makes sense that from the beginning of your marketing process is where the sales starts, not from on the sales call. And so most people, they get a lot of bad close rates, or people don't show up to those calls because their marketing didn't bring them on with intensity and fire. Does that make sense, guys? We just had one of our clients come in and they just did one of our posts. And here's what happened. All they did was do one of our posts, viral posts, and boom, Carrie Ann just closed a 5K client. And she said, one viral post has filled my calendar for the next 2 weeks. I'm excited for an amazing transformation for me and my program coming. Guys, one post gave her enough leads to book calls for her for 2 weeks. Now, am I saying every person's gonna get 2 weeks full of calls from one post? No. Same way not everyone's gonna make $2 million in just over a year, like Paul and Eric and Brian, a lot of our clients, or Issa with $1 million a month. But if that's what's possible, imagine what the average is. And the average is people back to their calendars every single day booking calls with just viral content. How crazy is that, guys? That's literally happening right now. Now, you guys might be thinking like, Armin, it can't be that simple, right? Like, I post every day right now. Yeah, but does it go viral? Do you get inbound DMs from it? Do you get a lot of people joining your Facebook group, or you're adding you as a friend, or looking at your stuff? Do you even have that stuff set up? That's the next question, right? You might have all the ingredients to bake a wedding cake, a massive, beautiful cake, but you're baking mud because you're using the ingredients in the wrong way, in the wrong order, or just don't know how to bake the cake first of all, because you don't know the recipe. Now, I've literally helped so many people become millionaires in this field with organic marketing viral. We've helped so many people hit 6 figures. And so what we have is the recipe. And so what I'm telling you for a fact is it does work, but we need to figure out, and hopefully this live masterclass for you is gonna help you find out what ingredient you're missing, you might be using too much of, or using the wrong way. Because doing the right thing, even in the wrong order, is still wrong. Does that make sense, guys? I wanna ask you a question. If you had 2 weeks full of sales calls, what would that do for your income? So right now, let's do some math real quick. Here's how I look at it. Let's say you have 2 weeks for sales calls, right? What happens if you go viral? All right, let's look at this. Let's say your price point for your program is 5K. All right, let's say that. Let's say your close rate is just 25%. 1 out of every 4 calls you close. Let's have $5 grand. And let's say you go viral and you book 20 calls in 2 weeks, 10 calls a week. Let's just say 10 calls a week. That's it. That's what Carrie Ann's saying happened for her. She packed her calendar in 2 weeks. Now let's do some math real quick. What would be if you close, what's 25% of 20? Very simple, it's 5. What's 5 sales times $5,000? That's $25,000. And that's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. You make $25,000 in sales. Very simple to how I made a 10K day, 20K week. And this is 2 years ago when I didn't know any of the stuff I know now. Now imagine you doubled that, right? So you did a whole month. So you did times 2. That'd be a $50,000 month for you just by learning how to go viral, getting audience in your inbound traffic, and turning them into book calls. Guys, this is what's possible when you know how to actually do viral organic. And this is literally what took me and my clients to 6 and 7 figures. Now, again, you might be thinking, man, there's a lot of time to write posts, and it's a lot of admin tasks. You gotta do a lot of crazy stuff and all this BS. And that's why I don't like organic. And I want to learn how to run an ad, and then how they sell it to you. Like, turn on the ad and money flows in. Guys, it doesn't work that way. Okay, I spent 6 months in it. I even taught it at some points, and I helped other people with it. I made money with it, but then I'm like, man, there's a better way. There's an easier way. There's a faster way. I want rapid growth. I want to also build something sustainable long-term. If you had organic foundation, guess what happens? Even the ads you do run eventually, they'll convert. And you can see already from now, if you don't have at least 20, 30 grand a month to spend on ads to actually do a big enough jump in sales, then you should be doing viral organic. And this is the fastest way to scale to like 100K months, 50K months easily. If you just learn how to sell, book those calls, and go viral. Very, very simple stuff, guys. It's not really that difficult. A lot of people like make complicated. It's a lot harder to simplify complex things than it is to complicate simple things. Something my mentor told me a long time ago. So guys, the truth is, you don't actually, like, organic marketing is difficult. It does take a long time to pay off. If you do it the normal way, the traditional way, not if you know how to go viral. In the same time that I was able to scale the business to over $3-4 million, I've seen so many people do organic. How come everyone didn't step on that stage? How come everyone didn't do it? It's because when I look at their businesses, I'm like, oh my God, like, you're not doing viral organic. You're doing the opposite of what works in organic. If you want cold traffic, just spend money on ads. But why would you do that on organic? Why would you sit on your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever and message people that don't want to talk to you? It's literally the opposite purpose of what organic is. You got to build relationships. You got to want people to want to talk to you. You build authority, you build your brand, build a reputation. All right. So if you go viral, by the way, it speeds up your process to building a reputation, speeds up your process to getting more inbound leads, speeds up your process to nurture those leads to want to work with you. Virality is the key. So I want to quickly show you key number 2. So this is how to write posts in 10 minutes or less that go viral and capture hundreds of free leads that won't ghost you in the chat. I want to show you what makes a post go viral. You guys want to know that? Elements of a viral post. All right. So I learned this a long time ago, and it was funny because I took my winning ad. Okay. My winning ad from my ads world that got me my first 20K week. It was a story of me and my dad and how my dad had gone through cancer. And so the post that my 20K post, my first ever one in organic, it was a story of my dad. And it was just talking about how when he got cancer 4 years ago, he passed away, he had cancer. And I was explaining to everyone how my method, like whatever you guys sell, right? I was saying about my business, having a business that's sustainable and automated, it really helped me get time back to spend with my dad. And so I actually made the post about me and my dad and like the importance of value of your relationships and your freedom. And I talked a lot about freedom and family. These are not the elements. I'm just breaking this down for you. I'm going to tell you what the elements were. Freedom and family. And then just like at the end of it, I'm just like, so how many of you guys want to know what that system is that I use to give me this freedom and family? And I give a little call to action. And that's where I got from the leads turned into like the engagement turned to leads. And they're like, hey, 8 of them said, I want to talk to you about this. And then we booked the calls and we closed those sales. So that was the first ever post I did that made me realize you can go viral online, but I didn't even know what I stumbled across. That's grown now into a viral content calendar. We have an entire thing we give our clients. And so here's the things I've noticed from seeing hundreds of people post content that go viral. Here are the elements. I'm gonna tell you right now. Element number 1 is vulnerability. Now, tread lightly on this. I'm not talking about, vulnerability. I'm not talking about you having a therapy session on your call and putting really disturbing pictures on your Facebook. Like those will do really bad. Don't put disturbing pictures. I've seen people go like, I gotta be vulnerable. And they show themselves like in a hospital, like looking really bad. I wouldn't do that. I didn't post a picture of my dad in his final days of cancer. It would have scared the shit out of you. So vulnerability means that you show that you're just like everyone else. So making your post vulnerable is important. Not every post, but vulnerability in posts go well. There's about 6 proven posts that we have that we teach our clients to post that on rotation that always get really good engagement. 3 of those are proven like clockwork to go viral. I'm telling you the elements of what makes them happen. Vulnerability is number 1. Number 2 is some form of milestone. Now here's the crazy one. Vulnerability, this is how I realized the vulnerability one. The milestone one, I realized this way. I was sitting there one day and it was crazy because I was going through my Facebook and I think it was my birthday at the time. And I made a post. I'm like, yeah, something about my birthday. And it got like 300 likes and like 80 comments. Everyone's like, happy birthday, happy birthday. And I'm like, and at that time I was like learning about organics. I'm like, wait, how come this post went viral? Isn't that like human nature when you think about it? Like, remember, I have 3 years of background in psychology and around breakthroughs. So my psychology brain turned on. I was like, hey, what does this mean? And I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, people love engaging with other people having milestones in their life. And so like I thought about like birthdays are like that, marriages are like that. Like how many of you guys know on your Facebook when someone goes, just got married, just got engaged, just graduated from school, just got my certificate, just finished this thing, just had milestone. Everyone's like, wow, there's some moment in your life. Everyone wants to celebrate you. And so it's human nature to gravitate and want to engage with celebrating you. And that's crazy because the opposite also goes viral. You say someone passed away or something's wrong with family member in the hospital, it gets like hundreds of likes. And I know those are like, I'm not saying go start saying it's your birthday every day, but we have to learn from this. One of those elements is crazy. Like if it's a milestone or some form of significant like moment, it's a significant time in your life, significant moment, right? People want to celebrate it or engage because it captures their attention. So that was another big one I realized that was absolutely crazy. And the third one, which is pretty crazy, it's like short call to actions, which I didn't think would like work that well, but it works like a charm. And so when you build a lot of value, rapport and trust with the people with vulnerability, you build a lot of value around like milestone significance, you just drop short call to actions or short questions, those go viral too. We have certain posts called 2 steps and launch conversations. And when I do them, they get like hundreds. I remember in the middle of COVID, call to actions, or I'll say conversation starters. So convo launches, right? Launch convos. But they're short. They're like those colored background posts. You ever seen that with the colored background? During COVID, I remember I made a post and I'm like, if you're bored at home right now, during quarantine, you have no purpose in life. Now, what I meant was, I'm a student of Think and Grow Rich. So if you have free time now and you're not working on your goals, then you probably aren't clear on your goals. That's what I really meant. Man, this thing got 100+ comments, just people fighting me, other people defending me. And I just sat there and watched. I'm like, wow, virality, it's insane. So just being able to change and control behavior in the audience by doing these kind of elements in your posts is insane. It works so well. It's controversial. That was a controversial one. Launch conversation, short call to action on the background, the color photos. So those are controversy as well. So I'm gonna put that in there, controversy. So these short things, these are all short, by the way. They're like statements, they're questions, or they're like, hey, who wants this? Or who thinks this? And so those work really well. Here's the last one. This is one of the secret sauces too. I'll give you the fourth element. And this one works like clockwork. It's pretty insane. You probably see me do some posts like this for my clients. And these are transformations. People love transformation. It's kind of like a milestone, but it's not, because milestones are significant time in your life. Whereas a transformation is a before and after. Like I was there, now I'm here. I was struggling with this, now I've broken through. Or like, crazy. When I saw this one, again, I'm learning from watching posts online, right? I remember this one person posted, I'm finally something like a year ago today, I was an addict. I've been a year sober since. And there was like a before and after picture. And I had like 1,000 likes and comments. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of traffic, a lot of people just commenting, engaging, an audience being built. So these are the 4 elements. If you learn how to master in your posts, then what happens is you build an audience. People want to get to know who you are. People want to follow you. They want to join your groups. They want to enter your funnels, whatever you got set up. You get a lot of inbound traffic. Does that make sense, guys? Now, what's next is I want to talk to you about, these are the elements of a viral post, but how many of you guys know Tony Robbins? Everybody knows Tony Robbins, right? Tony Robbins said, is the greatest life coach in the world right now. Coached all the presidents, most of the presidents in the past. He's literally like one of the most top authority experts in the advice he gives. And he says, what you want to do, you want to model success. This is a fast track hack to success. And this is all modeling means, by the way. This means there is a person who has what you want here, and this is you and the successful person, okay? Between you and them, there's what we call a gap. All you need to do is find out what that gap is and close it, and you will get very similar results to them. That's all modeling is. If you want to get abs, you look at a person who has abs and you don't have abs, and you ask them all the things they do every day, and you model them as close as possible, close all the gaps, the differences between you and them and their activities, their actions, their beliefs. And what happens is you're going to have abs eventually in time because you're doing, saying, thinking, believing all the things that people who have what you want have. So we took this concept really seriously, and we went into our program and we're like, hey, we don't want our clients to become expert copywriters. Like, we don't need them to. You don't have to make your first million. You could literally just do the work and get the job done. And so what we did is we actually built out an entire viral organic content calendar to help our audiences crush their audience with so much value that they have to buy. And we literally broke it down like this, boom, boom, boom. And we gave all of these different posts so that they can go in and see my viral posts that have actually made me tons of money, broken because calls in, flooded my calendar with leads and my DMs with leads. So we literally just give this to our clients, and all they do is copy and paste and change some words up. And that's how we get people like Carrie Ann getting 2 weeks full of calendars, by just taking one of our posts and boom, going viral. And so what we did is we're like, hey, let's make our clients model us, because why do all the work? Like, I couldn't model anyone's post. How do I do this? And I figured it out over time. I'm like, post it and something didn't work and I delete it. You know, you guys do that? Like, you post something, it doesn't work out, so you delete it and then you post it again or post it somewhere differently because you want to look embarrassing, right? And so we figured out all the posts, the top 6 that work well. And then we also gave the top 3 that go the most viral, and we put it in. And so like, people just copy and paste in our program. I'm gonna give you a way to actually do this without having to have our content counter. And it's very simple. I want you to go into Facebook groups with your niche and find posts that are viral, and then write down all the patterns you see amongst the top 5 viral posts in those groups. So you can be in big groups, you can be in small groups, doesn't matter. Any post you see that goes viral, sit down and find out what elements and the patterns in them are going viral. And then what you can do is just copy one of the posts, put it onto a Google Doc, you rewrite the same like format of that post, but just put your words in. I'm gonna give you guys a little tool you can use. It's not called Font Changer, I named it that. It's called Apps for Life Host. You guys go to appsforlifehost.com. You go in here and you literally copy it. You just copy something like this. This is me copying my thing earlier. And then you could do stuff like this, like make it bold or italic and just make it pop out. And then you just click convert and copy, and it gets nicely spaced. And you just paste it into your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever it is. And now you can start modeling viral posts. Now, the only key is you got to make sure that your content that goes viral is relevant to what you do. If I get a post going viral about, I don't know, soccer, well, that has nothing to do with growing a coaching business. So it's not going to work. So you need to have relevancy in your virality. Love you guys so much. It's been quite a privilege. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.